What's up, Salt Strong Nation? Joe Simons, like diamonds. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. I cannot wait for you guys to see this. We got Nick and Luke on. We were doing a little Zoom thing, and Nick's showing us really how you can see underwater, is the best way to explain it in layman's terms, on really kind of any fishing spot you can imagine, right in your backyard, regardless if you're inshore, near shore, offshore. And we were talking about a couple of really cool spots in Texas and even some in South Carolina, North Carolina. And Nick was showing us just all the things that you can see. And we're like, oh, we have to do a podcast on this and show everyone. If you're still wondering what's going on, we have a new app. It's a software that we've been working on for quite some time. This is next level. It's taking every single app that you might use to go fishing, right? From weather and tides and radar and sonar and wind and everything you could possibly imagine, all into one. And one of the coolest things, I think, this is what separates us from every other app out there. And of course, this is free to insider members, by the way, is this hill shade relief, this shaded relief where you can see underwater. It's like not having to wait to low tide anymore to see what's under the water. I mean, this is absolutely next level. And before we get into it, we've got the whole country pulled up, right, Nick? Because that was a question we had on the last podcast we did on this. If you haven't seen that, definitely watch it. And the answer to your questions, if you're wondering, hey, does this apply to my area? Absolutely. We have this data, and all of these cool features are going to be available wherever the heck you are. If you're in California, yes, we got you covered. But clearly, obviously, Texas to Virginia, New York, New Jersey is kind of our main area where most of our insiders fish. But absolutely, yes, we have the data that we're getting, and we're paying a lot of money for all this stuff that will cover anywhere you might be fishing. So that's why we have this whole screen, if you're watching this, pulled up to show everything. So Nick, I'm going to give you the reins, and maybe we'll talk about, I know you have a spot in Texas you want to show first.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me show the shaded relief for the whole country. So this is kind of the whole country view. So you can see the areas that are covered as I adjust the transparency. And right now I've actually have this set to, for the weather, I've got it set to wind. So you'll see the wind across countries. You can kind of get a big overview. So let me zoom into Texas area. In fact, I was looking
the shade relief. The shade relief is one of three little toggles that you can use. You got the shade relief, which is this almost like an underwater view. And then you have the marine chart, which is sonar, like Navionics. And then you have the satellite view, which is like, a Google satellite map.
Exactly.
So you can toggle all three of these, which is so cool.
I'll just add into this. The shade relief is I think my personal favorite, because I've never before had a way to actually find spots in deeper water. Right, satellite maps are great for most areas because you can at least see like 3 to 5 feet down. And Nick's going to show us some examples of 40 plus feet, like in channels where you literally can see rocks. Nick even found a shipwreck in one of them. It is absolutely mind blowing, the amount of detail that is in these maps. And the coolest part is you can actually get the latitude and longitude for any spot you want. Pretty amazing.
Should be within feet. So if you find some underwater structure, like, inshore, near shore, offshore, doesn't matter, that this works everywhere. You can literally drop a pin on that rock or shipwreck or whatever it is, and you will have the GPS spots. You can export them, put them in your unit. I mean, this is like next level. We're so pumped for this to come out. So, all right, Nick. So tell us where we are. Some people are listening and not watching this. Where are we in Texas?
So this is Port Aransas, and I'm right at the jetty there where it comes out. And right now I've got it on a combination of the marine chart and the sonar view. So you see the depths for the marine chart, and that's what we typically see like in a Navionics layer. And then we've got the shaded relief selected with sonar. So that's actually outlining all of the different depths. So then from here, what I can do, so I can back this up. So you'll kind of see these boats fishing this jetty from the satellite view.
Yep.
So now let's see what's going on underneath there. So I can turn this up, right, and go up to high res.
I see what they're fishing now.
Pretty amazing.
Exactly.
So sick.
So now,
if you're listening, you need to stop this and actually go watch the video version just to see this. This is crazy.
Yeah, these rocks are so clear, it looks like they're out of the water. But then when it goes back to the satellite view, you can see the boats on the satellite, and you can't see rocks at all, right? This is all fairly murky water.
This guy's way
pretty
off
deep, and it's amazing.
Yeah, we should tell that guy he's way off.
He's way off
structure.
These guys are right on it. So, but here's the cool thing is that because we still have the weather tied in here, we can click in the spot and get a forecast for the wind direction. So maybe you're looking, I'm looking at this wind, it's coming out, it's coming southeast 15. Maybe this guy is in the right spot because his bait's probably drifting, you know, with the current. Let me check some other spots out here.
Man, this is so crazy.
It's pretty detailed too. Let me drill in. Look at this area right here. So I'm just going to kind of pan through the channel or the jetty.
Yep.
So here's some sweet spots right here you wouldn't even see. You could just.
I mean, look at that hole too. I mean, this is like Florida Keys clear water. Like if you had a satellite view on like the perfect day in the Florida Keys where the water, where you have 50-foot visibility. And this thing just cuts through it all. It is absolutely.
And this is, if Nick, you want to toggle it on the marine chart, this is in the 40s and 50 feet. I mean, that's how far down you're seeing.
Exactly.
Here, right?
So let me back this up. And so this one, you can see it 35 feet, 35, 52 feet. This is 50 feet over here. I can slide it back up.
That was that hole. That was that hole that you had there.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
The other thing I like is you can actually on some of these spots, you can actually see like the sand drift around the rocks. So there's a lot of detail. Let me back this up. I saw there's another.
And a lot of those smaller rocks too, just as far as finding good spots, right? A lot of the bigger rocks, I mean, there's pretty hard not to know where the big ledges are, like that right there when Nick just went on the satellite view. You can see those two boats over that big rock outcropping that's sitting out there. Most everybody knows about those. What this does is you can see the little smaller rocks that are a little bit further off.
Exactly.
That probably hardly get any fishing pressure at all. And those fish are going to be the most aggressive ones and probably the biggest ones as well. So that is just why this is just so impactful.
Oh, this is sick. I mean,
you're
literally just looking underwater. I mean, this is like so cool. I could spend days looking at this. This is just one little spot in Texas, right? I mean, this is crazy. Look at that detail. I think I just saw a little crayfish down there. So cool.
Yeah, look at these.
So what are those? What are those?
I'm not sure.
Just ledges.
Yeah, ledges and rocks.
Yep. Because I've seen similar stuff when I was looking at Tampa Bay that has very similar bottom structure where there's a lot of high current flow.
Wow. And so Nick, this is the high res?
Yeah, this is the high res.
Okay.
And yep.
And so explain the difference between the high res and the normal sonar, because so the high res is the one thing that isn't across the board. It's just in specific spots, whereas the sonar is everywhere. Is
exactly,
right?
Exactly. So the high res are certain areas, and we're loading more and more as we can. But the sonar, this is the one where you actually see the outline of each depth. That's available everywhere. The high res are going to be just limited locations right now. But we're loading more and more as we're able to.
Yeah, and so it's automatic. Once you're an insider member, you have access to all this, and we'll just be constantly adding more and more of the super high res stuff. But either way, you know, this underwater view, if you will, is going to be you know, available everywhere to see exactly what's down there and see the sonar side of things in pretty much any spot. That's so cool.
And then to actually find the spot. So like as you're planning your trip, you're able to actually mark routes, right? So you can, let's say you're going to come down the jetty here, you can use our route tool. And as you drop each pin, it's going to give you the longitude and latitude of each one. So let's say we want to, you know, maybe fish these little rocks right here and hit that one and then that one. Then you've got your route, and you can save this route, and it'll save it to your account. And then you can load the route when you get out there on your phone, and then create a track and actually record your track and just follow that route. We're also going to be building an export, so you can export the longitude and latitude to import into your MFD.
Guys, how cool is this? This is such next level. I mean, there is stuff like this available, but it's hundreds of dollars just for like one area like this. So crazy. And once again, completely free to insider members. And now you can understand why we've been so excited about this app. And it's interesting. A lot of people, hear the word app, and clearly it's going to be available for your phone. It'll be just shrunken down to your phone size. But I think the biggest benefit and how I'm starting to use this, and I know Luke said the same thing, is on your laptop or a tablet before you go out, right? I mean, so much value on the pre-trip planning side. I mean, finding rocks like that, getting the actual GPS spot, and then going out and fishing them. You can still do that while you're out in the water, but it's always tougher, right? You got the glare, you might have a lot of wind that day. It's always tougher finding that exact spot on your phone, but you certainly can. But I think this is going to be a massive, massive advantage. It's the reason we went the Progressive app, where you have access to this on any type of device, anywhere there's internet. You don't have to have Wi-Fi, just anywhere there's internet. You will see, even on Nick's, I mean, we're on a Zoom call, so it's always a little bit delayed, but just know that like these tiles, they do take a while, especially the high def stuff or this super, super high res. It can take a little bit longer to load sometimes when you're zooming in 100 miles an hour in a spot, but we're working on making that super, super fast. That will just take some time. Just want to throw that out there right up front. But the cool part is this will be on any device you can imagine, and you can still have access to it, even if you're out of range, if you will. There's some ways to do that, which we'll talk about in a next edition of this. But for now, I'm going to hand it back to Nick. So talk about what we're doing. You just went to a new spot.
Yeah, so now I'm in Galveston, Texas.
Okay.
Not sure the name of this pass. It's just the main one. Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, I was looking back here, and there's like, you can see there's a nice rock pile right there,
Dang,
right at the end of the jetty.
There's a shipwreck.
There's a shipwreck. And look at this little pile right here. That would be awesome to hit.
Wow.
Little rock piles back here.
I mean, that is crazy how much you can see on that shipwreck.
Yeah.
And so on this, you could basically pin the southern tip, the one side of the boat and the other side of the boat. And then when you're on the water, you know that anywhere in between those 2 points is going to be the high probability.
Yeah, you could draw a route all the way around the wreck, and then you have a complete outline of how it would look.
Thanks. So what's the depth there, Nick?
Let's take a look here. Bring this up, bring this down, 52 feet.
Okay. Wow.
That's some good water. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then check out this. I don't know if this is a pipeline or a rock or a ledge, but look at that. Those are all rocks along there.
Whoa.
Probably all sorts of fish up and down that ledge.
No doubt.
You could troll right along there. That'd be awesome. There's a nice little ledge right there, right in the middle.
And all this is, hundreds of feet from shore with the stuff that we're looking at here. Obviously, we're in an inlet, which can get some boat traffic, but holy smokes. I mean, look at all the definition down there. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
This is so cool. Next level. So what happens when you start going inland a little bit inside of this pass? In terms of our shaded relief.
Yeah, so the high def will be limited to the area, but the shaded relief will still be there, and the sonar. So you can switch it over to sonar to see what the contours are like. So all that will still be there. And then
we have some questions. Yeah, we have some questions on just say this is earlier. Does it apply to Florida? Can it work in South Carolina, North Carolina? The answer is absolutely yes. The sonar, the general stuff is everywhere, and it's just that high res is the only thing that's limited, but that's going to continually grow as we add it in.
Exactly. So this is a little bay in here. Back this up. You can see it's like 45 feet deep right there.
That's so crazy. And even then, as you zoom in, I mean, that's still great detail. Oh, so this is still high res then?
Yeah, this one's still high res.
Okay, it's still going. Okay.
Yeah, so you can see like there's some structure right here. That'd be great. to fish.
Yeah, it's just cool to get the perspective. I fished Boca Grande forever, as long as I can remember, and just finding like know that there's 2 holes out there where a lot of the tarpon can be found, and it's just next level when you can actually literally see exactly where they are relative to the shoreline, and it's especially once I haven't been on the boat with it yet, but it'll be amazing to look at that high def while I'm in the water and see my little blue dot going over the top zone. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, this will be really cool. Just having a tablet on your boat or even kayak, and just being able to zoom in and have access to all this. And we have Jake on our team who does not own a boat or kayak. He is a pretty hardcore wade fisherman. He and his dad go wade fishing every week, and he's excited by this. And you might be thinking, right, this is more for boating and kayaking, but no, he's like, man, he's like, so many places we wait until low tide, to go out there and basically scout. He's like, this lets me go see at least the depth and little holes around places that we normally like to wade fish, or places that we're going to be going soon. And I don't have to go out there and scout it at low tide. He's like, I got a pretty good idea of what's down there just based on even the sonar piece of it. Disregard even the super high res, but at this, is any place you can go wade fishing, you're going to have data that's similar to this to at least be able to see some anomalies and different things out there that he might want to fish. So he's super, super pumped about this for wade fishing. That he was one that came up. He's like, man, I feel like I can see underwater now. And I was like, it's because you can. This is it's so cool.
Yeah, for people fishing off of jetties, or I mean, it's that's where it's a huge impact as well. You can see all the rocks and where the eddies are going to be. It's again, just invaluable information.
Yep, it's gonna be like that one boat we saw over there. People are gonna be laughing. Oh, I wonder why he's fishing. There's nothing over there, and all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I got a special rock I found. No one else knows about except Salt Strong insiders. Yeah, so pumped. This is just one small piece of what this does. And I know Nick is going to be adding quite a bit more on, we've got some tide station stuff that we're working on. Obviously the smart piece of it in terms of showing the best days and time of day. Oh, Nick just pulled it up right there. We'll all be starting to formulate inside of every single tide station. So got some really cool stuff. And of course, the one big question we heard a lot is about exporting, this data and your tracks. And absolutely, that's something that we're going to have available. And this will just continue to grow. I mean, this is just the very beginning. We haven't even launched it yet. A lot of you are wondering when. We don't know. We want this to be great. It'll never be perfect. We're going to get some beta testers in there, but it's probably going to be the next few weeks. I would say 1st of June or so, like latest. So we're hoping sometime in May. But we definitely want this to be great, where at least you can get in there and it's not completely buggy and breaking. And we're just kind of working out some internal little bugs first, because there's so many different pieces to this, as you can already tell. And if you watch the first episode of the app, the all-in-one app, it's like, holy smokes, these guys did it. I mean, just look at the comments. People are like, all right, next level. I saw a couple of people saying, I haven't been able to use my Insider Club enough, but I'm definitely staying for another year just because of this. I mean, this is so cool stuff you could do at home, even if you're not even fishing, just doing recon work. So amazing. Kudos, Nick.
Thank you, man. And I just want to add one more thing. If you see anything on this demo that looks a little funny or slow loading, this isn't the final production and live version. I'm actually running it off of a dev server, and there's actually processes running right now in the background for loading all these tiles. So once it's live and in production, it's going to be a lot faster.
Yep, super fast.
Yep,
super fast. So cool, man. I love the little toggles, and then the toggle at the bottom, on days, so you can start seeing. Yeah, there you go.
That's so you can drop. So right now I've got this on wind, so I can select wind or clouds, see what the percentage of clouds coverage is, see what the waves are, the direction, the period, even currents, pressure. And what's really cool is, let me hop over here, turn these off, let me back up, full screen view, turn off my tide stations. So now I can hop over and check out my cloud coverage. We kind of showed all this last time, but you can see if it's going to be overcast or clear.
So cool.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff, man.
All in one, everything you need in one source.
Exactly.
Hey, on the waves, I remember someone had asked, and I did not know the answer to it. Will it show waves from like for surf fishing? Like, how close does it go in terms of and how
So
accurate?
that I have to find out. So I'm pretty sure those are considered wind waves because they actually build with the wind. So if you're on the, I forgot the term. I think that will show with wind waves, but let me confirm on that. And I think it will also have some documentation that accompany this, so you can understand what each one of these layers will do. So we'll be sure to include that.
Because you got swell two, wind waves, and currents. There's a lot of different wave data.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've done some testing with that. So it's not it's really for the big water, like for the Gulf, the Atlantic, the Pacific. Once you go inland, it's not going to be as accurate. It can't factor in like the impact of an exact landmass. So
And that makes sense.
Yeah, because Tampa Bay it would be the same as out in the Gulf near Tampa Bay, and that's obviously not going to be correct.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it is accurate for the near shore fishing and surf fishing too, right? For the wind blown shorelines, the waves should be pretty darn accurate for surf fishing as well.
Sweet. The shaded relief. So cool. Well, guys, we'll kind of end there and really just want questions. Are there things that you need more clarification on, or things you want to see? Clearly, yes, this will cover your area, and we'll continue to do some of these demos that gets closer and closer to launch. I want to reiterate, this will be free to Insider members. You can pay for it, but it'll cost more than the cost of an Insider Club. So it's better off just to join the club and get this completely for free. And that'll be on all your devices, and you'll be able to use it anywhere you want, anywhere there is any form of internet. Don't need Wi-Fi, just need some kind of service. And even without service, if you're out in an area with no service, there's still some ways to use it, which we'll cover in a future podcast, because that's a little bit next level. But yeah, I hope you guys like it. I hope you're excited as we are. And this is just scratching the surface on what this can do. And there are going to be a couple of different iterations, if you will, meaning, this is iteration 1. Iteration 2 is going to have some really cool stuff in terms of predicting types of spots to go fish. Oh yeah, that's right, I said it. And then version number 3 is going to be next level, where you can actually kind of see yourself in the spot. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Wow, these guys are really techie. It's nuts. It's so crazy. When the idea first came up, I was like, all right, this is way next level. And now we've seen a couple little demos, and we're like, holy smokes, so cool, so unique. No one has anything else like it. So we've combined every app into one. Just one more reason to join the Insider Club. We're trying to innovate every way we can to give you guys and gals the tools you need to succeed and to go out there and find the fish fast. And we believe this is just next level in terms of saving you time and money, be able to turn off some of the apps that you might be paying for, because we're going to have a lot of that data and a whole lot more all in one place. So if you haven't joined, what the heck are you waiting for? Someone to give you an app and put it in your hand? Join us at saltstrong.com. You'll see a place to join there at top. Join the Insider Club, us and the 30,000 other members. And I have a feeling we'll be growing that number significantly. We saw a massive bump just after the last podcast of people signing up, just wanting to get access to this, because we did say that we will be raising the price. But I want to say this over and over again. Once you're in, you're grandfathered into your price for life. One more reason to join now, because when we raise the prices, anyone who joins after that point will have to pay a higher price. Why not pay a lower price for the same stuff and be locked into that price for life? So that is a cool thing. Unlike Amazon Prime, who just raises the price on everyone, no one's grandfathered in. We will grandfather in people once they come into a price. Just our way of thanking you for being loyal and for sticking with us. And if you have any questions, please do comment down below. The best place is to go to saltstrong.com. You'll see a fishing tips drop down. right? Or if you're on the desktop version, you'll see a little place that says fishing tips, and you'll see this podcast there. And at the bottom is a place to leave a comment, and those come right to us. Whereas YouTube, they kind of just go out there in the virtual world and they don't always get looked at or answered. But on the blog, we definitely get every single one of those. So go to saltstrom.com, join us in the club, and make sure to leave a comment. And stay tuned. We will definitely let you insiders know. We'll be emailing you. It'll be a big deal. You'll know when we launch this thing. But it's still probably a couple weeks out just to make sure we absolutely nail this. So appreciate you guys and your patience. And we can't wait to get this in your hands. Peace. We out. Good job, Nick, Luke.
Thank you. See you guys.
Yeah.